For months, we have been wondering what will happen to Senators Mike Duffy, Patrick Brazeau, and Pamela Wallin. The Senate expense scandal has captivated and at times angered the country. Now, after months of repayments and allegations, all three are out of the Senate. Voted out last night, suspended for 2 years without pay. Patrick Brazeau and Pamela Wallin were in the Senate chamber for the vote. Mike Duffy was not. Health problems kept him away. But the RCMP investigation into the repayment of that infamous $90,000 check is still going. And his story is still making headlines with people over who knew what and when. So we thought we'd take you to Duffy's home province, the province he represents in the Senate, for reaction there. Frederico Cahis is live with me in Charlottetown, getting the read on reaction. So, Frederico, how are people in PEI reacting to news of Senator Duffy's suspension?
Well, Heather, there's not a lot of surprise over the last night's outcome. In fact, when I talked to people last night, nobody actually believed that Duffy should remain in the Senate. There are some questions over whether or not a 2-year suspension is fair. Now, over the course of the story, not a lot has changed in terms of public opinion from that moment in February when Mike Duffy walked into our studio here and told taxpayers he'd be paying back tens of thousands of dollars. At the time, he said he believed he may have made some mistakes. That night, I talked to Islanders. Most didn't buy that story and wanted Duffy to step aside. Now, over time, that didn't change. In fact, as the story became more complicated, differing accounts from the PMO and Duffy, the anger just grew. People still wanted to see Duffy out, but now there's a lot of anger directed towards the Conservative Party and the PMO. Here's what people had to say last night.
Duffy shouldn't be suspended from the Senate. He should be booted out of the Senate because he was never a valid member.
Yes, it was a long time coming, but it was probably well deserved.
He does deserve to have his benefits, those benefits for the next 2 years, but definitely suspension.
I think it was a little maybe easy on him. I think he'd just be like completely gone from the whole situation, to be honest.
Now, I should note that even though everybody believes here that Duffy should be out of the red chamber, things did change a little bit last night in that some people want to see the investigation continue. If there is no criminal wrongdoing here on Duffy's part, maybe he should be allowed back into the Senate. But if there are charges, people believe he should be out permanently.